Hello everyone, Pineaaronapple here, and now that the latest Doctor Who multimedia story, Doomsday, is over, long since gone, we can take a comprehensive look at the topic. Doomsday is set into 24 segments, representing the one day that Doom has to complete her story arc, taking place across audios, novels, comics, and in games. The first trailer to Doomsday left almost no impact. No one knew what was going on, and when I looked it up, Google just confused it with the Series 2 finale and 4 to Doomsday in the classic era. But eventually we were given a proper trailer, with footage finally introducing us to Doom, and boy howdy was there a lot of pushback.
Hi, I'm Doom.
I haven't seen Suze Kempner in anything. She may be very funny as a comedian, or a good actress, but her performance as Doom, while having an interesting character synopsis and good-looking outfit, the performance did not inspire confidence in me. And after how good Time Lord Victorious event was, if a bit strained across its multiple points, this was really disappointing. But it did seem like this would be a more accessible event. Since this was a smaller scope, no exclusive stories spanning live performances that weren't in my country, and merchandise that cost too much to import. So after the online webcast promoting the character of Doom, we can finally start with the free online story, Hour 1 by James Goss. Now we can start to see whether the character of Doom can exist on her own, and later we can see if it's Suze's performance that makes the character so lackluster in the beginning.
Doom.
So Hour 1 by James Goss introduces us to Doom, her being introduced in an interesting fashion, and even connecting back to the Time Lord Victorious event, as she is an assassin working for the Lesser Order of Oberon, who previously employed Brian the Ood. We also meet her handler, Terry, who is used well for comedy when paired up with Doom. The main part of the story contains Doom attempting to take out a target on New Venice, when the Doctor, presumably the First Doctor, warns her against it. It goes horribly wrong as expected, and death itself, presumably, since death is a being in this universe, but why would she bother is beyond me, comes to take Doom's life, as she is given 24 hours to live by her vortex manipulator. The story ends with Terry sending Doom to the Storm Cage, Doom vowing to take as many jobs as she can in the time she has, in order to get around as fast as possible and hope to run into this Doctor again and fix this. The writing isn't bad and the dialogue is enjoyable enough, and I get the feeling that James Goss had fun with the ideas here. But it is basically just a short prologue to the event, in that it serves its role well, so as I'll rate every piece of the story here, I'll serve it the arbitrary ranking of 7 out of 10. At least for what it is. If I were rating this up, say, against an actual Doctor Who episode, it would probably be much lower. Now we see hours 2 to 5, contained in the comic 4 Hours of Doomsday, all written by Jacqueline Rayner. This book was included with Doctor Who magazine 592, and God was it annoying to order in the physical release, because I could not pirate it anywhere. But hey, I got it, so let's go through it and see if it's worth the trouble. First is Target Selected, and it's literally 2 pages long. How the hell am I supposed to rate this? The art's good, and River being the first Doctor Who character Doom meets is interesting, as she sends Doom on her way. We get our first look at Death, and the dialogue doesn't lack, but come on, it's 2 pages. I'll just follow the last story's example, short, 7 out of 10. I suppose when it's only 2 pages there isn't a lot of room for it to be shit. The plastic population is longer than 2 pages this time, but it still suffers from its short form. This story involves Autons and the 6th Doctor. The Autons and a woman who is not suspicious at all named Ness Steen, or Stein maybe? I don't know. Let's refer to that Mandela Effect Bears book.
And it's fucking weird.
As Doom attempts to get help and take out her target. Honestly, it's a tragedy this story isn't a full episode, as the story of the Nesteens going after politicians who are attempting to get rid of plastic and replace him is interesting, and I suppose it is used well here, but I can't help but wanting more from this idea, in a completely different way from the last story. The story reminded me a lot of the first episode of R.L. Stein's The Haunting Hour, and the 6th Doctor shoots the politician into the Nesteen pool, defeating the Autons. telling Doom he can't help her for reasons unexplained, so she toddles off. It is easier to attribute a rating to this than the last one, and even if it is short, it was sweet, so I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10. Next is High Noon in Hollywood, where Doom lands in Hollywood and finds no doctor, but does find the crew and actors transformed into Cybermen. But strangely enough, they continue to dress and act as characters, which is odd. But hilarious to see the Cybermen in multiple costumes. Doom finds her target, actress Polly Church, who her father wants dead. We then learn that he wants her dead out of pity, wanting the Cybermen put down. But how her father in 1930 would understand the nuance of the Cybermen and be able to contact the Lesser Order of Oberon, I don't know. But this story is entertaining. I mean, look at all those costumes. And the story ends as Doom leaves after destroying the Cybermen with the stage pyrotechnics. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. Lastly for this book is The Horn of a Dilemma. In this story, Doom appears at a medieval market, contracted to kill the idea of the unicorn. She teams up with a travelling Joe Grant, wherever her doctor may be, and has to convince Joe that she can do her job without actually killing the creature, using tech to put the unicorn seller as a phony.
He's a phony! A great big phony!
Even if that's not really the case. This was probably the least interesting for me. At this point, about halfway through the story, I was over this book and its slapdash jumping, but I can't say that this portion was much worse than the others, just far less interesting. But I can admit that it is kind of creative. So I'll give it a 5 out of 10, and we can move on to the next part. So that was the beginning of the Doomsday event, and while short, even if I didn't like them that much, each of these stories had some redeeming qualities at least, even if the constant cameos can be a little off-putting. Next time, we'll take a look at the next comic that makes up hours 6 to 9, and I have to admit, I'm excited, especially with Titan Comics at the helm, who can be pretty creative, even if occasionally they fall flat. Thank you everybody for watching my first review of the Doomsday event. And don't worry about my stagnation like's happening with the Miraculous videos. I have pre-written all of these reviews and they will be coming out on a fortnightly basis between other reviews. Although, I say that now, I'm not sure how many people really care about this. But you know what, I'll do it anyway. And in the end, I think I'll put them all into one big video as a whole. Either way, please like the video if you liked it, comment down below if there's something else you want me to check out, consider subscribing to the channel, and if you do, ring the notification bell so that you're told every single time that I make an upload. Once again, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!
Toast. A little piece of toast. Because there's so much to choose from. There's brown bread, white bread, all sorts of wholemeal bread. It comes in funny packages with writing on the side.